Let's go to another country that is starting to turn things around, because El Salvador, which I've mentioned a couple times over the last few weeks, they were basically the most dangerous country in the world. Check out these numbers on homicides that were happening in El Salvador in 2015. That's not that long ago. It's less than 10 years ago. Per 100,000 people, they had 106.3 homicides per 100,000 people. That is insane. That's one out of every 10,000 people was being killed in El Salvador, okay? Homicide. Over the years now, then they brought in some law and order. They started going after the gangs. They started cleaning up their streets, et cetera, and you could see it precipitously dropping. And as of last year, 2.4 people per 100,000 people. So how did they do it? Well, they started prosecuting crimes. They started saying, we are the people of El Salvador. We are going to start defending ourselves. We're going to start electing people. We'll get to their president in just a moment, who will actually not bow to the criminals and the crime bosses and the gangs and everything else. And we're going to start putting some people in jail. Because if you're a bad person, you belong in jail. And that's the only way that good societies can flourish. So Nayib Bukele, who became the president of El Salvador a couple of years ago, and he was just reelected, we covered that last week, he came in and said, we are cleaning this up. We are going to defend the rights of our good citizens, and we are going to stop placating the gangs and everything else. So everything that you see there, which it looks like a Schwarzenegger-Stallone movie, right? Like it looks like the beginning of one of those movies. They're about to take over the jail. Those are all gang members who were running the streets of El Salvador. I mentioned to you that about a decade ago, I went to El Salvador. My brother-in-law was doing some work there. And for any non-El Salvadorians to live there, you had to live in he lived in a very tiny little community, barbed wire everywhere, armed guards everywhere. We were told very clearly, if you walk out of here, you're in an awful lot of trouble, et cetera, et cetera. They have cleaned it up, and now it is becoming safe.